It's time on Cable's Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. We are joined by Sebastian Ridley-Thomas. He is a member of the California State Assembly. We have been celebrating Women's History Month. You come from a wonderful mother. I know her well, so you honor her and all women. Talk to us about what you've been doing as a member of the legislature to honor women like Mom.
Well, in addition to listening to women and making sure that we keep the priorities of
Right.
women, health, education, wellness, and the economy at the forefront, we've used 3 events to highlight the contributions that women make and talk about what the next generation of women leaders will bring to bear. One for women in finance, others for women in small business, and then thirdly for women in labor and political advocacy. The celebration of the Cesar Chavez holiday coincides with one event, and it focuses on Latinas. The startup and small business world of African-American women, and we're doing an event in Inglewood. We represent a portion of Inglewood.
You do.
And then in Century City, we are focusing on high finance and making sure that we can continue to destroy the glass ceiling. So we are trying to be well-rounded, institute annual events, and hope to have your daughters and your wife come and participate as well.
Love that. So I follow you on Twitter. And it's hard to deny that I was inspired by some of your recent tweets because you were able to travel to Selma. You were able to travel with your father, who we know well, Mark Ridley-Thomas, LA County Supervisor, a few members of the California Legislature, members of Congress, the President of the United States. Talk to us about that trip.
Well, it was an amazing pilgrimage to a place that time can sometimes forget, metaphorically and literally. Selma is a remote location that is along the way of Montgomery and Birmingham. You have to fly into one of those two big cities.
It's such a major name in our psyche. We presume it's a large city, but it's not.
Small hamlet would be an accurate description of it. And I have to tell you, there were many sites that we saw. In Birmingham, we saw the church where the 4 little girls were bombed out in 1963, 16th Street Baptist Church. The only crime was the color of their skin and going to Sunday school. In Montgomery, we saw Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, where Martin Luther King pastored in the center of the bus boycott in 1955.
Of course.
This is the 60th anniversary of that. Believe it or not, it's down the street from the state capitol.
You're kidding.
Yes, so Martin Luther King peered through his pulpit, through the window to see George Wallace, and what a contrast. And that's one of the photos I tweeted, was the church overlooking the State House. And then Selma.
Talk to us about the moment on the Pettus Bridge and seeing the President of the United States walking with you, the former President George W. Bush,
John Lewis, who was there, C.T. Vivian,
Amelia
Boykin, who was 109 years old, who had been one of the folks that was beaten on the bridge all those years ago, and then the state troopers of Alabama in the 21st century and how they respond. It's a unique moment. It is a time of reflection and a time to recommit to the legacy of inclusionary policy, of an expanded opportunity that reaches all Americans. They gave so much so that we might have what we have today.
I can only imagine what the marchers would have thought if they knew 50 years later there would be an African-American president marching across that bridge.
Or that they had made such an impact, because they really changed the landscape of electoral politics in tangible ways. Latinos and Asians in California owe a debt of gratitude to those who marched across Selma, because the Voting Rights Act helps them make sure that they can have representatives of their own choosing if they would like. It helps them harness their power. There are protections, despite the U.S. Supreme Court's and some reactionary governors' attempts, not ours but other states, including the governor of Alabama. We are fighting the good fight.
I'm glad to see that you attended the Selma March. My name is Brad Pomerance. We thank Sebastian Ridley-Thomas for joining us. It's time on Cable's Local Edition.